Hello everyone, this is Diamond Star. So in this video I'm going to tell you about how you can book UK visitor visa or UK tourist visa, and it's going to be the standard one, and how you can book the appointment for free, how you can do the payment, how to fill out the form perfectly, and even on the day of appointment which documents you should take. So in today's video I'm going to tell you each and everything. So let's go to the screen and let's see how to apply online. After opening your Google Chrome, you can type UK Visitor Visa or UK Standard Visa. So these websites will appear. Just click on the first link. Now click Accept Additional Cookies and then Hide Cookie Message. Then from this whole list, click on Apply for Standard Visitor Visa, and when you will scroll down, you would see the button of Apply Now. Click here. Next, you're going to select the language, and of course, you are going to select English, then scroll down and click on Next. In this section, you have to select a country where you should be present and you should be able to give your biometrics and the facial photograph. And of course, right now I'm in Hungary, so I'm going to write that one. And if you are in any other part of the world, in any country for which this service is valid, you can write down the name of that country and then click Next. Here you have to double check that the country you have selected, does this country contain VAC, means Visa Application Center, and they have also given the link to figure out the location. And in case you know that there is Visa Application Center in that country, then select the first option. In case the country doesn't have, then select the other option, and in that case you have to select a country nearby where the Visa Application Center service is available. So before starting the actual application, they have given you some important points to ponder on, and are you in the right category, and before applying what documents you should need, and if you are planning to stay more than 6 months, then you should submit your tuberculosis test. Now click on the Start Now button. And now finally, after reading all these carefully, now you can start a new application. Now you have to write down an email address you are going to use for the whole procedure and the application, and then you will set a password for your account. And there are some limitations for your password, that like it should be minimum 10 characters long, and it should include at least 3 of these, like one uppercase letter, one lowercase, a number, and a special character. Click Save and Continue. On this page, that who does this email address belong to? Of course it's mine, so I'm going to select this, and you can also apply on the behalf of someone else, so you can select the second option, then save and continue. Now, do you have any additional email? Do you have another email? Like, no. Save and continue. Your telephone number, so I will write down my Hungarian number. You can write down any number on which you will be active. You should remember that plus means 00 and then your whole number with the country code. Now I will be using the same number while I'll be in the UK, so I will click the first option, as well as I will use it when I will be out of the UK, because this is the number I'm using currently. And in the other portion, it's asking me whether it's your home, mobile, or work. So it's my mobile phone number. That's it. Do you have any other numbers? I don't have, so I'm selecting no. If you have, you can select yes. Save and continue. Now, contacting you by telephone. Are you able to be contacted by telephone? Yes. I will select the first option, that I can be called by text and messages. Next. Now here you are going to provide your given name. Given name is your first name and the family name is your surname. But in case you have 3 names or like more than 1 or 2 middle names, you can also include it in the given names and then click next. If you have any other names, no, I don't have, so I will click no. If you have, you can click yes. Then save and continue. Here you have to select your gender and what is your relationship status. So I am married. Save and continue. Now here you have to fill in details of your address. So here I'm writing my street name. I'm writing my town or the city, which is Budapest. And the region, state, it's again the same, Budapest. Then the postal code. Okay, you can just search it simply from the Google and then you can write it here. Like what is the postal code of your address, and then the country is Hungary. If you want to be contacted on the same address about your visa application, then click yes. I am selecting yes and then save and continue. Now the address you have provided, so what is the status of yours? Basically I'm renting it, so I will choose the middle option. And the duration, so whatever the duration you have passed on this accommodation, you can select that. In my case, it's just 3 months. Here I will provide some previous address history, and they are also asking me that where you were living previously and was that a UK address. So I will select
No. And the address where I was living before this current address, I will give details of that address. The city, the postal code, and the country of my previous accommodation. It could be from other country also, so that's totally fine. So I will give this, like, when did I start living there, so you have all the details, you have all the contracts, so you can just copy the information from there. So I start living there, I will select the month and the year, and then the ending date when my contract ended and I left that apartment, so I will give the month and year of that. Now, in the past 2 years, if you have lived in any other country or in UK, you might select yes, but I was in Hungary. I did not leave the country and I did not live anywhere. I just went on vacations, but I did not have any address. So I'm gonna select no here and I will continue. So traveling is not included in this option, okay? Here I'm gonna provide my passport details. My passport number, the issuing authority. Of course, the issuing authority is the same country from where does you have your passport, and you have to provide the issue date when the passport was made and then its expiration date. Here your identity card means your residence permit, so I will select yes. I will write down my residence permit of Hungary, the number, and then I will write down the issuing authority. Of course, it is being issued by Hungary, and then I will write down the date of issuance and then the date of expiry, and then select next. Here you will write down your nationality, then the country of birth, and the place of birth means the city where you were born, and the date of birth. First of all, you will write the day, the month, and the year, then save and continue. So for other nationality, I'm gonna select no. For immigration status, if you are a student like me, then we will select the first option, that I have a temporary visa, because we have the residence permit. But if you are a permanent resident, then you can select the second option. And in case you do not have visa or the permanent residency, you can go for the third option. After selecting the first option, it will ask you that until what date your residence permit is valid. So write down the expiry date and then you may save and continue. You may ignore this box, it's just useless. So now for the employment, you have to select which category is the best. Since I am a student as well as employed, because I am doing a job right now, so I will select both options, a student and the employed. In case you are a freelancer, then you can select self-employed option. Here, if you will select that you are employed, then definitely you have to give details of your employer, like where you are doing the job, what is the name of the company, their address, and everything. For example, if I'm doing a job in Wizz Air, so I will write down the name and you have to write the proper name. So Wizz Air name is Wizz Air Hungary Limited, and then the address, it should be mentioned on the contract given to you, then the city, town, and the state, Budapest, then its postal code, country, and then the telephone number of your employers, and then the date of joining, that when did you start. To be very precise, you can always look up into your contract that what is the exact date, so make sure you do not make any mistakes. Now we will provide some details about our job, like what is the job title. You can write down the exact job title, and what is your monthly salary after tax. So basically you have to give your gross salary here, like the exact salary you get after deduction of the tax. And then you have to describe your job. You better know how to describe it, right? It could be mentioned in your contract also, either you can copy paste it from there, otherwise you should know like what is your role and you can just write it here. And after writing, as I used some bullets, so it was not accepting those bullets, so I just removed that and then it was all okay. Now here it is asking about your extra income. So if you have some regular additional income, you can select the first option, or if you have some savings to show, you can select the second option, or if you do not have any other income or saving, then you can choose the third option. Then you have to mention exact savings, and the currency should be in Great British pounds, and whatever amount you have, whether in Hungarian forints or in euros, you can have its conversion through Google. Now it's time to tell about the cost of your visit, that how much exactly you are willing to spend there. So once again, I'm going to select my currency, and then the amount must be at least 1000 euros. So if I convert 1000 euros into Great British pound, it will give me 840 pounds. So this is what I'm writing. So make sure it shouldn't be less than 1000 euros to avoid the rejection. Here we have to tell about our financial situation, that every month how much I'm spending. So of course I'm gonna select Hungarian forints, and then the amount I'm spending each month. This will tell them that how financially strong I am, and whether I'm a genuine traveler or not, and whether I have such amount of money or not. Now, is there anyone else paying for your visit? So in my case it was no, I was going on my own money. Then next, we have like planned travel information when you plan to go to UK. So whatever my date was, I wrote there, and the date of the plan I am leaving. So of course you have to keep some dates in mind. For example, in my case I planned a visit for about 1 week, and this is, and it's up to you whether you want to prolong it or not, but for this one you have to make sure these dates should align with your booking and everything else. Here you have to write the languages you can speak. I can speak English, and that's it. I will select it. Now it will ask you the main reason of your visit. Since I'm going for the tourism purpose solely, so I will select that. You can choose whatever is suitable for you, whether you are going to meet your siblings or your family. Okay, then it's asking me what is the main reason of my tourism. So it is tourist. I'm not visiting any family or friends. So I will select the first option, and then the next one. Your activities, basically what I'm gonna do there. I asked ChatGPT to write something very good for me, and then I copy paste here. You can also copy the same format which I have written here. Now, if any family member is dependent on you financially, in my case, it's no one. So I selected no, and I continued. Now you have to give details of your first parent. So you can select any one of this. For example, I will select father first, and then I will give his first name, family name, date of birth, and his nationality. And then after that, I will add details of my mother. You can select anyone first. Now here we have to tell if your any immediate family member is living in UK. So we are not talking about far relatives or friends. So in my case it was no, and then I will continue. Now, are you traveling as a part of organized group? In my case, no, I was going alone, so I will again select no. Then they will ask you about the address of accommodation in UK. Yes, I do have. I will click yes because I have booked a hostel. And now I'm providing that address where I'm going to stay. You don't need to show actual booking. I will simply write down some hostel name here and its proper address, its city, its postal code, and after that it will ask me that when you will arrive there, make sure that these dates must align with the dates you previously provided, that when you are going to travel to UK. So these are the things which can reject your application. In case you have any other accommodation in UK, if you are staying with any friend, then you can select here. I don't have any other address, so I'm going to select no. And then UK travel history. Have you been to UK in the past 10 years? No. If you have, you can select yes. Have you traveled to Australia, Canada, New Zealand, USA, or Switzerland, or European economic area? So what is European economic area? You can just check the list, and then you can answer accordingly. Since I said yes in the previous section, so now they are asking me more, like exactly which country did you visit and for how long, what dates, and everything. If you have chosen more than once in the previous section, then they will ask you about the other visits also, and you have to give details same as in the previous section. Details of your world travel history, if you have been to any other countries in the past 10 years. If you have gone, then select yes, otherwise no. And remember not to include UK, USA, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Switzerland, or the European Economic Area in this section. Other than that, if you have traveled anywhere else, then yes. In my case, it's yes. Now I will add like where I traveled. For example, it was Saudi Arabia, and what was the reason? I will select other because I went there to perform pilgrimage. Okay, and then I will mention when did I enter that country. The stamps are there on your passports, or maybe you might have some pictures in your gallery. So you just give the exact dates. So when did I enter that country? When did I leave that country? And then I will continue. Now, if you have traveled to any other country also, then you can select yes. And if you have not, then select no and simply continue. In my case, it's yes because there was another country other than the previous I mentioned. Except those, I went to Turkey also, so I will select yes, and then I will add details of that country also. So do not feel hurry and do not skip anything. So I will add details of another country, that is Turkey, and then again what was my purpose. I went for the tourism. When did I enter that country and when did I leave? Finally, there are no other countries that I traveled, so I will select no. If you have traveled more, then you can still select yes and add on details. Now, immigration history, as you can see the list: refused visa, blah blah blah. If anything had happened, in my case, no, and then continue. Again, breach of UK immigration law. No, I never breached any law, and you can read the list, no, and save and continue. Then conviction or other penalties, no, I never had any such things. You can see all the points are given, so I will select the very last point, that no, I had never had any of these. Then select and save and continue. Then war crimes, never, I had never been a part of anything like that. You can read it, and I will select no. And then I will tick the box that I have read all of the information about war crimes, including the guidance, and save and continue. Then terrorist activities or organizations and views. Okay, so I will select no in each one of these. That okay, I'm not a part of any group, organization group, or I do not encourage that. So just select no in everything. And in the end, just click the box that I have read all the information about the terrorist activities, organization views, including the guidance. Save and continue. Extremist organization and views, no, I'm not a part of that also. So I will select no, 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 and then also tick the box in the end and save and continue. Now in this section, person of a good character, you can read all these points and just select no, 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 and then finally select continue. Your employment history, that okay, have you ever been in the part of the lists mentioned below? No, in my case I was not a part of any of these mentioned, so I will select the last box and I will save and continue. Then additional information about your application, if you want to say anything, in my case it's none, but if your, for example, residence permit is expiring and you have already applied to renew that, you can write something here that okay, this is my application number, I'm also attaching the document, or anything you want to tell the visa officer, so you can write here. In my case it was literally nothing, and they asked almost everything. In case your passport is expiring, just and you want to tell that okay, it will be here by in a week or two, just mention that information here which you think that you can tell. So that's it. Finally, we are done with our application, and in the last they ask you to check your answers. If you think something is not right, you can still change it. So go through your application thoroughly, and in the end, if everything is fine and perfect, you can just see the last option, that is continue. I will select on that because everything is perfect. Then here is the document section. Now the mandatory documents, the passport or the travel document, this I will select that because I have that. The other documents, I will tick that okay, I have those. Number one, evidence of the funds, means your bank statement or the savings. Yes, I have residence permit, so I will select that option also. So these three documents are very mandatory. Here, visitor conditions, you can read all the conditions, and after that, just tick the last box that I confirm and I understand that I accept the conditions. Save and continue. Now it's time to sign the declaration. You have all the options. For me, first option is the best, that I'm the applicant and aged 18 or the over, and then select I accept the above. Finally, they ask you to check your answers. Okay, that's all good. Continue. Now for the visa option, there are multiple choices, but the minimum I can select is the 6 months. So I will select that because I'm just going for 1 month. So I will choose the minimum option. Now based on that, we have to choose a service. So since I chose 6 months option, so I have this standard service, that for that I have to pay 143 euros. So continue. And now finally, I'm about to make the payment. Continue to World Pay. Here you can select any option. I'm going to select Visa card because I have that. And then I will add all the details of the payment, the expiry, the CVC, and everything. You know how to do the payment, and then I will confirm that. Now various windows will appear, and finally you can see the payment successful. Click on print confirmation, and after coming on this window, click here, the this option, and then save, and then the dialog box will be here, and then you can save this in any folder you want. Now save and continue to the final task. Here, what are the mandatory actions? Download your supporting documents, and after clicking it will be downloaded. If you will scroll down, you would be able to download your complete application, and you should download so that you should remember what information you wrote. And then I will click on provide documents and biometric. Click continue. Now on this page, scroll down and click yes. If you will scroll further, you can read what is written, but I don't need any kind of advertisement, so I will select no, no, no in each section, and I will again scroll down. I will again select no and continue. Here all the details will be filled automatically. You just have to confirm them, and then you can click continue.
Now I'm going to tell you how you can book appointment for free.
Here, if you want to book any extra service, appointment assistance, you can book. I don't want anything, so I will just click here like on step 2, and I will move forward. And again I will click on the step 2 because I don't need any additional service. If you want, you can choose, so I will click here. Now here you can see all type of appointments available at different times, but you need to know this. Look at the end. The green is telling you about the flex appointment, and of course, they have different charges. The one with the premium lounge, one with the prime time with the yellow bar, and the one with no color is going to be the free appointment. So let's go forward to look up for some free appointment here. I will click on the next so that I can get a free appointment if you don't want to spend much amount, and I will keep on doing that. And finally, you can see that at this point I can see a box without any color. So yeah, these are the free appointments, so you can choose whatever suits you. Now for example, I have booked this appointment. It will ask me for the confirmation. Click yes. Now here, proceed to the checkout. Click I understand. Click place order. So now on this page, they are asking you to provide the shipping address. Shipping address is the address where you will receive your passport back. So you can give the relevant address where you want your passport back, give the email address, full name and the last name, the street address, the country and the region, city, town, and the code, and of course the phone number. Now, if you have the same billing address, then tick the box. But if your billing address is different, do not tick the box and just continue. Billing address is the address, like if I'm using my card for the payment, so what is the address of that card? So here I'm gonna fill my billing details, my full name, first and the last, street address, country, it's again the region, town, city, postal code, and then the phone number, and then I will click continue. Now my both addresses are being displayed. I will click continue, and finally I'm going to put my card number, its expiry, security code, and name on the card, and then I will click proceed on the verification. And then it will ask me to confirm in the app because I'm using my card. And after verification, my payment will be done, and it will say that thank you for the order. Now you may click on view my application. Here you can see a lot of options, like you can track, you can upload. So I'm going to click upload because I need to upload the documents. So now I will click on the plus sign, and then I can upload any document I want. So first of all, I'm going to upload my passport. So you can select the passport, and after uploading you have to select the category what you have uploaded. For passport, it is going to be my travel and residency document. Similarly, I'm going to upload my residence permit, and again I will select the category travel and residency because that's the mandatory document. If you're a student, you have to upload student status certificate, and for the category I'm going to select studies evidence. Also, you should upload your student ID card, and category will be the same, studies evidence. Also upload your bank account statement, whatever you want to show. I'm uploading two bank statements because I have two accounts, and for the category it is going to be financial evidence. In case you are employed, then do upload your employment letter, and the category is going to be employment evidence. Now click on continue to summary, and here all the documents will be shown like what you have uploaded. After final confirmation, you can click on submit documents, and finally you can confirm. Now we are all done. In case you want to come back on your application, you have to go for the email you received in your Gmail for the sign in, and you can click on the same link and it will bring you on this window. You can return to your old application, or if you have like any other application, you can continue the current or the old one. So you can just click on that one, and then you can sign in, and sign in details are going to be enter the password you set and then simply sign in. After signing in, click on provide documents and biometric, then again continue, and again it will bring you to the same window where you can track your application and you can see what is going on and what is the status of your application.
When you will reach DLS Center, Budapest, you will be asked to fill out two forms, and that will be your passport delivery form, as you can see. After that, so there will be a lot of people, so you will have to wait significantly, so you might not have to attend the appointment exactly at that time. This is what happened with me. And then you will go inside, no phones and nothing will be allowed there, and then you will be asked to sign two things, that yes, whatever you have provided, you are okay with that. Then you will be asked to sit down on the other side, and there they will ask you to look into the camera, and then you will have to say your name and your date of birth. Then they will ask you to give your signature on the screen, and then they will take you one picture, and they will also scan the documents, and they will take the fingerprints, the biometric finally. And the documents, I took all the documents, but they did not take anything except the first page of the document that you downloaded. That's it, and nothing else was needed. And yes, they took my passport. So this is what will happen with you inside the room at TLS center. And then after that you will receive different emails which will keep you updated that what is the status of your visa, and then within 15 working days after biometric your visa will be processed. So that was all about my today's video. I hope you all liked it, and if you have any questions you can write down in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe the channel and like the video.